Hey everybody, welcome. And we had a really interesting Thursday night football game. This is going to be a short live stream compared to previous nights. But I have to get this out of the way. First of all, uh, we now have to hail the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs because the Chiefs proved to everybody that they can win without Patrick Mahomes. Now, granted, it's the Denver Broncos, and I say that because the Broncos, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, are not well coached. The Broncos are not well coached. One major problem on the Broncos offense is their poorly timed play design. How many times did we see Joe Flacco go out back and wait? How many times do you remember that we saw Flacco be asked to run a play that was a quick pass where you get the ball and you throw it after taking one step, or play action quick fire pass, something to keep the Chiefs defense, off balance, right? Nothing like that. It's no wonder that Flacco ate the dirt not one time, not two, not three, not four, not five, no, not six, not seven, not eight, 9 sacks. Sack City, boy, oh boy. You talk about an invasion? The Chiefs invaded Denver and they sacked the city. Boom, man. Boom. It must it must hurt to be Joe Flacco tonight. He's in that tub. Oh, he's doing this. He's like, oh my god. Oh boy. Oh, well, yeah. Pull some more ice in there. Put some more ice. Oh yeah, that ice. Ice up, son. Hurting. 9 sacks. Process that. That's got to be the most this game. I mean, this season by one team. 9 sacks. 9 frickin' sacks. Okay? No. The reason why the previous video I made said, if you listen to it, that I expected the Broncos to not even come back. Defensive style, offensive styles. But at that time, it was the defense in particular that was pissing me off. Because the Vic Fangio defense is very much like the Jack Del Rio defense. You know that crazy two-down lineman defense with the wild defensive ends that stops nothing and annoys the crap out of fans? That defense is what they were playing. The defense that the current Raiders don't play, because the current Raiders believe in having ends that actually get down on three and set the edge. Hey, John Akala, how you doing? They set the edge. In other words, setting the edge means this. It means you're down. You're effectively making a door. This is you. You're the defensive end. This is the offensive tackle. You are coming in, and let's say this is the line of scrimmage. You're going across. You're making a door. You're the edge. You're saying, hey, look, you can't go past me, man. You cannot go around me. But if you're asked to be off the line of scrimmage and back behind off the offensive tackle, then what happens when the offensive tackle gets ahead of steam and crowns your butt? You're going to get crowned. Boom! By a 300-plus pound, 6 foot 6 mammoth dude assigned to do one thing: knock your block off on the run. That's his assignment on that play. And he's coming after you, and you're standing up. You're not even in the proper position to take the blow. That's the kind of defense that Denver plays. And so it comes as no surprise to moi that, and I said it just like that, so you can remember it. Moi, okay? That they, hey Roland, they being the Chiefs, had logged over 5 yards per rush at halftime, and that LaShawn McCoy was clocking in at 5.8 yards a carry. That's crazy, man. I mean, that means the Chiefs could have just taken a flyer and said, we're going to run the rest of the day, all day. Now, of course, it wasn't that simple. But if you watch it frame by frame, play by play, the Chiefs they were given, I'm looking at the replay now, Mahomes back to throw. But because the Chiefs' play design says, hey, you know what? I can throw to pick up the yardage that I need. But when you have an opponent that's playing a defense that's so loose, you can quite literally find your holes. The only time they tighten up is around the goal line. But the Broncos make it really easy to get from 20 to 20. They don't challenge you much at all. Okay? So Broncos fans had a right to do what? Boo! Sound familiar, Raider fans? That's what that style of defense gets you. Boo! Boy, for the sake of good football, you want to see the Broncos, well, maybe not. I was going to say for the sake of good football, you want to see the Broncos do better, but you know what? I really don't care. I'm just being honest. I'm getting a kind of a, Rob Iman says kids need to split $3 billion and sell the Broncos. I don't think, no. You know what they need to do? They need to say, okay, look, the Broncos' problems are fixable. I mean, the Broncos' problems were fixable. Now, every Raider fan should have a vital interest in fixing the Broncos. Why? Because, first of all, we've already beaten them once. And second of all, if we suggest how to fix them, we can, better understand what they're going to do next time because we're the ones that gave them the suggestion, right? So, Rob Iman says Broncos will be bad as long as ownership remains in flux. No, I won't. No, they won't. One has nothing to do with the other. Because Rob Iman, their problems are not so universal as that. I mean, I'm not saying the Broncos don't have an ownership issue they need to straighten out, but that's not translating to their on-the-field woes. The Broncos' on-the-field woes are due to bad coaching. All right? You don't have a player going out there saying, oh, you know what? I kind of don't like the owner, so I'm just going to take a flyer on this play because I just don't like the owner. The players like getting paid. No player wants to have it on tape that they took a flyer because they didn't like the owner. You know what? They want to get paid. They want the next person that's going to pay them to see their best resume. So that's not happening. All right? Osman Dias, 714, where you been? Woo! Osman Dias says, predict Raiders get the win 4-2, 27-24 Raiders. Okay, I ain't predicting that. Maybe you're not right now. I don't have a clear view of that game. Rob, in fact, you know what? When I think about that game, in my heart of hearts, I say the Packers are going to beat the Raiders. Because and it goes back, hey, Rick Worth from Winnipeg, how you doing? And it goes back to something I said before. The Packers are a crisp offensive team. They are efficient and no nonsense. They get the ball out of the hands, they get it to the receiver, okay? So they are a cutting offense. When they block you, they put you out, okay? I don't think Joe Flacco is a mediocre quarterback. How come you guys are always talking about personnel and not plays? I mean, That's what really puzzles me. See, when I look at football, I look at formation structure and I look at technique. I look at what the player is being asked to do. I don't make a judgment on the player. The only time I would break that edict is if the player is consistently missing wide open receivers, right? Then that's the player. It's like, hey, are you hurt? What's going on here? That's why Kyle Allen is such a beautiful thing to watch, because he's the guy that runs your play as you drew it up. But you have to run it for him, okay? Rob Byman says, Elway dealt Fangio a mediocre quarterback. No, he didn't. Joe Flacco is not a mediocre quarterback. Philematic Pro says Flacco was being asked to run for his life. Flacco was getting his ass handed to him. Again, I never get an answer to this question. Why can't you guys focus on what the coach asks the player to do? Can someone give me an answer? I would love one. I would love one, because the Broncos' problems are fixable. First of all, they need to get out of that crazy butt Fred Schumer defense with the 2 down linemen and the wild defensive ends that stand up. Like they need to get out of the Jack Del Rio Seattle defense is what that is. Need to get out of that. They need to play a basic 4-man front, maybe 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Okay, vary it with respect to down and distance, single gap. All right. Bring everybody up close to the line of scrimmage. Make it look like a 6-by-1. The best defense in the world to stop these crazy butt sweep offenses with the jet sweeps. Okay. John Akala asks, where do you see a weakness in the Packers that the Raiders may be able to take advantage of, if any? The one defensively, there are where I see the Packers weak is that they're susceptible to no huddle. Okay. Where the kind of substitutions they make all the time. What John needs to do is have 15 plays or 15 play script that says we're going to do this no huddle. And that will really catch the Packers off guard. And then just to add insult to injury, throw in some really exotic formations like 4-by-1 and a diamond on one side. So you have the receivers in a diamond style 4 over here, and then you've got the new guy, Zane, not Zane, but come on, Zenny, the fellow they just got back from Buffalo, who's got the amazing speed. Have him by himself on the other side of the 4. He's the 1 in the 4-by-1 diamond. Okay. I only saw the Raiders play a diamond once. They played a 4-by-1 diamond, but it was a 4-by-1 diamond asymmetric. In other words, they had the 4 cluster here, and then they had the guy out here. They had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they had 1, 2, 3 here, and then the 4th here. Okay, so it wasn't really a 4-by-1. It was more like a 3-by-1 there. All right, but it was 3-by-1 on one side. This Tyrell one is going to start. He helps Carr a lot more. He's going to start, sure, but he'll be spelled a lot. The Raiders have 2 fleet-foot wide receivers they need to get in the game at various points. They've got a great tight end they just agreed to pay $9 million a year to. Rob Iman says, I love the defensive schemes the 49ers adopted this season. I do too. And you know what I like about what the Niners are doing is they're playing old-fashioned defense. None of this high-end stuff where the end is standing up, saying, hello, I'll be your chef today. What would you like to have? Can I cook something for you rather than rush you? I won't rush you at all. Think about what I'm saying. I won't rush you at all. I will cook for you. You know, heck, rush him. Get out on the knee. Get out there. Brr, okay. Oh my God. Roland Dub says Elway is a terrible GM. I have to agree with you. He is not clocking it in well. But also, Roland Dub says Trent Williams is going to be cut out weeks with his injury. Yeah, Trent's just not a happy guy, though. I remember when I met him at the 2010 NFL draft, and he was a salty dude, man. That guy's got a temper. I think part of his issues are temperamental, and I don't. That's my experience with Trent Williams is cursory, uh, but I really hope spiritually he gets to a better place because my 30,000 feet in the air sense is that he's not happy. Uh, something not quite right, uh, and I hope I'm wrong. Hey, that's Walt Garrison. Hi, I'm Walt Garrison. Walt Garrison's on the NFL Network. You just put a pinch between your cheek and gums. You're saying, what the heck is he talking about? Walt Garrison is fullback of the Dallas Cowboys. This guy, all right? Hold on a second. That's Walt Garrison, all right? Famous, I believe, number 32 with the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboy, a true cowboy in the Dallas sets. A Dallas Cowboys legend, but he's a very easygoing guy who became best known off the field for this chewing tobacco commercial. And goes, I forgot the manufacturer. Just put a pinch. Hi, it goes like this. Hi, I'm Walt Garrison. And I like whatever that brand was. Just put a pinch between your cheek and gums, and you're doing all right, or something like that. He was the Dallas Cowboy. Well, one of the people that personified the Cowboys. They're laid back but serious when they needed to be. That was true for Roger Staubach. That was true for Tony Dorsett. That was true for Walt Garrison in his day. That was true for Don Meredith, who he played with. They were like, the only outlier was Dwayne Thomas. And Dwayne Thomas was understandably angry because of the lousy civil rights for us as black folks at the time. All right. So Dwayne Thomas didn't want to talk to anybody. He was going through it. And I think a lot of Cowboys didn't quite understand it at the time. Coach Landry was trying to understand it, but he just didn't quite. I think he got it later. But a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be black and be discriminated against. And then you have to go into a situation where you're asked to basically, toe the line, right? That was, a digression. But when you grew up with the NFL like I did, that's what's in your head. And this is the 100th year of the National Football League. I remember a lot of stuff. Rob Iman says, Joe Ellis should move John Elway upstairs to save face. Now, actually, I like that idea. But my point is, all of that is not going to fix the Broncos right now. The Broncos' problems right now are easily fixable, and they have nothing to do with moving John L. upstairs or bringing in any of the Bolin sisters or anything like that, okay? The Broncos need... I'll tell you one word what the Broncos need to work on. And under that one word, there are a number of things they need to do. Timing. On offense, they don't have a consistently timed passing game. Okay? On defense, they're not designed to disrupt the timing of the offense. In fact, they give offenses a lot of yards just lining up. It's like, I'm looking at it. I'm thinking the line. I'm thinking, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that, right? Hey, that's a smorgasbord for me, man. I'll take that all day long. The Broncos defensively are what the Raiders were under Del Rio. I'll repeat. The Broncos defensively are what the Raiders were under Del Rio. Rob Ivan says, I think the Chiefs can tread water with Matt Moore. I agree with you. The defense, as long as the defense is prepared, yeah. Roland Dubson, I like Elway where he's at. Here's the thing. Again, Elway where he's at is not the problem. That's like, I mean, after the season's over. But you move him around after the season's over and you have a 3-13 record. What good does that do? It won't change your 3-13 record, I'll tell you that. No. The one thing that the Broncos have done is they emphasize my boy Courtland Sutton. Why do I say that? Because regular viewers to my channel will remember how many times I've said that the Raiders should draft Courtland Sutton. I told them they should draft Courtland Sutton before they did, and they didn't. Now the Raiders are going to be haunted with this dude, unless, of course, they trade for him at some point, which I would do. I would figure out a way to get Courtland Sutton in the building for the Raiders. That is too much valuable wide receiver on my opponent's team. And so I will forever hold that against Reggie, because I told Reggie, man. I told him at the NFL annual meeting when we were over there in Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, but in Orlando. And I said, hey, you know what? Courtland Sutton, man. But Reggie doesn't listen to me. The year before that, I said, hey, get Cam Newton, man. Cam Robinson, sorry. Get Cam Robinson, man. I said, Cam Robinson, the man who ragdolled Myles Jarrett. Yeah, ragdolled him. That's the guy you want in your team. One moment, please. One moment. Okay, I'm back. As I was saying, when I was going through my as I was saying after I was going through my 30,000th time of congratulating myself for mentioning Courtland Sutton and Cam Robinson to Reggie McKenzie of the Raiders. All right. And now the question is, who will I have for Mike Mayock? I think the Raiders need to be in the market for a quarterback. And no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Derek Carr. I'm saying that it's getting to that time when the Raiders need to bring a person to the building they can bring along and Carr is there. Okay? So, and I'm not a believer in soft pedaling that, getting a guy who sits on the bench who isn't good enough to start for you. That doesn't do anyone any good. Get a guy that is good enough to start. All right? And then if something happens, you need to plug and play. And then if something happens, you need to plug and play, you're good. All right? You're good. Because as well as Derek Carr is playing this year, and the Raiders are 3-2, I am scared to death of the idea that Carr is one injury away from putting us in a position where we're like the Chiefs. Okay? And so so riddle me this. Derek Carr gets injured. What do we do? Are you comfortable with our quarterback situation behind Carr? Hello? Anybody? Bueller? Okay. Roland Dubs, how does a number one wide receiver help us with a quarterback if our quarterback is injured? Roseman Knight says Raiders should draft Leonard Williams in 2015 draft. Oh, should have. Leonard Williams. I'm talking about now, man. Hey, Joseph Amenduras, how you doing? By the way, folks, Joseph needs a kidney. Joseph Amenduras is looking for a kidney donor. Right, Joseph? So if you are out there, you're watching this, Joseph should be doing a live stream to talk about that situation. Joseph? Hey, man. Hey, man. Joseph? All right. You know what to do, man. We got to get you a kidney, man. No joke. Joseph Emenduris needs a kidney. Okay. So I'm taking that time out to say that. He knows it. I know it. You got to get him a kidney. Right. Joseph needs a kidney. Right? Right. All right. And Joseph says yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay. And if you want to get a hold of Joseph, Joseph actually, you're welcome, Joseph. Joseph actually is a vlogger on his Zenny62 channel here on YouTube. He also has a blog page. I believe he put his email there. You can email him from that. Um, so those are the ways that I know. Maybe Joseph can offer some other kind of way. Chi, how you doing, Chi? Oh, there you go. Help Joseph live at gmail.com. There it is, folks. Help Joseph live at gmail.com. I repeat, help Joseph live at gmail.com. I will say that a third time. Help Joseph live. Joseph is Joseph. Help Joseph live. Help Joseph live at gmail.com. There you go. You're welcome. Chi says, with which Coliseum City project would have happened, still could. Looking at video and posts get me upset. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't know what to do. Okay, here's the thing. Joseph says, I'm currently dialyzing 24 hours a day, every day. I think dialyzing, that means you're dialysis, right? How's your diet? Remember, man, water. Oh, by the way, aloe vera water is fantastic. All right. So, did I tell you all I'm going to the Falcons game this Sunday? Ooh, did I tell you all that Jalen Ramsey is going to get burned? I'm hoping. I am just hoping, like, hope that the Falcons bomb the crap out of him. That would be in just Julio. Go deep. Touchdown. Oh my God, that would be so funny. Oh man, I'm the best corner. Oh man. Just says all I drink is water. Oh, aloe water. Aloe water. Yeah. Yeah. Osman Dye says Julio Jones is better than Ramsey. Yeah. Oh, aloe water, by the way. Aloe vera. Aloe water is great. Also, ultra highly carbonated. I think it's just H2 water. All right. So I'm trying to think of waters, specialized waters, but aloe in particular. All right. Aloe. And then peel a pound soup. Peel a pound soup is the best for your condition, man. Peel, look it up. It's right here on Zenny62. Just type Peel Zenny62. You'll see 4 different videos I made that have the recipe in it. Peel a pound soup will save your life. I'm telling you. Rob Ivan says, if the Rams miss the playoffs, Snead is done. Think so? No, I don't know about that. I don't think Snead is done. I don't think the Rams, if the Rams miss the playoffs, the Rams would just miss the playoffs. I don't think they would do that. They would change personnel faster than coaches or GMs at that level that fast. John Akala says, you think NFL owners and NFL players can come to an agreement for there to be a 17-game season and eliminate one preseason game? What do you think of that idea? I think it's a good idea, especially with the revelation that fans are not watching the preseason games, but my concern is injuries, okay? And I think you need to add players to the roster. If you add players to the roster, you shorten the play time for your players, each one of them. Which means what? It means less money for them, unless of course the union comes up and says, no, 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 we're not going to do it that way. So therein lay the dilemma. But it's not the first time the NFL's dealt with that. What you have people who are not, I have to say it, they're not football fans. They watch enough to be entertained. But a lot of people don't know football. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's the way it is. People go to a game or watch a game for social reasons. They want a good story. Okay, Jamal Mills, how you doing, man? Still haven't got an email from you. Anyway, they want a good story. Jamal. I'm going to Niners game, man. Jason Craig says, Niners. Osmond Dye says, if the Cowboys don't make it to the playoffs, do you think Jason Garrett is done? No, I don't. I think it depends on how close. If they don't make it to the playoffs because they just tanked, like they don't win a game anymore, yes. But if they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, then no. Okay? I'm never betting against Jason Garrett because that man has 9 coaching lives when it comes to the Cowboys. How many years have we been waiting for Jerry Jones to pull the rug and say, all right, you're done, pal? And he doesn't. So I'm not going to wait out for that. I mean, Tom Landry, when he was really just sucking at, the owner, Clint Murchison, signed him to a 10-year contract. Jamal Mills says, Niners. Yay, man, Niners. Falcons, man, I'm going to the Falcons game, baby. I'm going to Mercedes-Benz Dome for the first time. I'm excited. I'm going to see Jalen Ramsey get burned. Okay, you got it, man. I want to see Jalen Ramsey get burned. Scorch, baby. Zzz. Julio time. Woohoo, look out. Julio time. And I'm not against Jalen Ramsey. You know what? The reason why I would do it as a coach is because I'm looking at Jalen Ramsey this way. He's a rookie. He is onto a team. He's getting a crash course in someone's defense and their terminology. That means he's going out of the field trying scared. All right? Unless they simply give him a sick 'em assignment, which is you get on him and sick him. And I hope they do. If they just give him the assignment of going only to Julio. Heck, if I'm game planning, if I'm Dirk Carter, I'm putting Julio, I'm hiding him behind my tight end. I'm putting him in a diamond, the back end. I'm putting him in motion over here. I'm putting him in motion over there. I'm putting him in the backfield. All right, I'm frustrating the crap out of the defense of the Rams, man. I'm making them pay. And then I'm just Julio short, Julio medium, Julio wrong. I said long, not wrong. Oh, Jamal says the Falcons Stadium is amazing. I can't wait. I am excited. Oh, man. It's my mini vacation, John O'Connell says, I think all teams would have to play one game at a neutral site location. Since it's going to be an odd number of games, or how would that work? I don't know. I haven't given it much thought to any depth, to be honest. This all came up for me today. Yesterday. And so I'm trying to process it, because when they said 17, I thought you mean 18. Because I'm thinking, why is it, we've always gone with an even numbered expansion, right? I mean, I can remember when we had, 12 games? Or 14 games, excuse me. I remember we had 14 games, and then we went to 16 games. I can remember when it was even 14 games. So, but it's always been an even numbered expansion. So this is odd. So I'm not getting that. Roland Dove says Byron Leftwich to be the next head coach of the Cowboys. Good for Brian. I'm not sold on him an offensive coordinator. I think he's doing an okay job with Jameis, but well, excuse me. I think he's doing a better than average job with Jameis. It's just that again, it's that timing issue, and I don't believe that Brian has that down with Jameis. And I don't. I hold that you need to move the pocket with Jameis. Okay, and they're not doing that. The Buccaneers have not installed this fast offense. No huddle, no huddle, no huddle. Quick pass, quick pass, quick pass. Okay, exotic formation, exotic formation, exotic formation. I'm not seeing that from them. Of course, that's the way I approach the game. Doesn't mean it's the only way. All right, all right. It is like I said I was going to make this short. I'm going to because I need some rest. So I think we covered some good ground tonight, and I may do a Friday night. I may. Okay, I may. I may. But right now, I need to just chill. Roland Dub says Bucks lack a good running game. Bucks lack a well-designed running game. The Buccaneers could solve a lot of their problems if they installed 4 types of plays, running plays. Okay. 1, a quick pitch. Okay, out of split backs, quick pitch. All right, make the defense chase the running backs. Quick pitch. That's the first one. Okay. Then the second is something they don't have or run much of, and that is a fullback line buck out of wide formation where the halfback goes this way and you turn around and you give it quickly to the fullback, right? Boom, going that way, all right? And you'll say, why that specific play? Because you can develop a nice play action system out of that. Okay, so that's the second running play. The third running play is a pass run option. And again, out of I formation, but I go sprint pass option. Going back to the old Seattle's. Remember Seattle? Maybe y'all don't. Have a look at Jim Zorn when he was the quarterback of the Seahawks, and Jerry Rome was the offensive coordinator, and they ran that sprint draw to perfection. Okay, so that sprint draw would be the third play. Again, because I can build play action off of it. Okay, and then the fourth play is a simple Green Bay Packers style sweep. Why? Because once again, not only can I run play action off the sweep, and I do it out of a shotgun, I can run bootleg the other way. That repertoire of plays would make the Buccaneers very difficult to stop. Excuse me, hard to stop. Maybe impossible. All right. Joseph Binsman says, so worried about Mahomes, my fantasy quarterback. Hope he'll be out for a short time like Hill was. I would, if I were you, I would trade up. Get Lamar Jackson, man. If you can. Joseph Amandura says, thoughts on who the Raiders should go after before the trade deadline? You ask me now. Who the Raiders should go after before the trade deadline? No, I don't want AG. No, I'm not convinced that the Raiders need a top flight wide receiver. Everybody wants the shiny object. Well, no, it says pick up Jay Allen. I'll tell you who I want. It's that defensive end to replace Holmes. I want, gosh, I want a defensive end. I want a star defensive end. I want somebody that like Cameron Drake. I want someone available that I can put in there, and I know that he's gonna get me sacks. Okay, that when he puts his hand up, a ball gets batted. That's what I want. That could be uh there are a number of defensive ends that are available who can make that happen. Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr is fantastic. Yeah. Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr. Leonard Williams, but John, I like Leonard better against the run. Okay. Um, that said, though, I would not, because when I think of Leonard Williams, I think of more of a 3-4 defensive end style. Um, you know, a guy who plays inside the tackle that can stuff the run. All right. And Rolling Dubs, I know Anthony Barr is a linebacker. I interviewed him. Okay. But Anthony Barr is also a great rush defensive end. That's why I said that. And by the way, if you want to see my interview, you watch my channel, right? If you watch my channel, you would know I interviewed Anthony Barr. Shame on you. Okay. So here, you thought you were aiming a trick question. I mean, but seriously, have you watched any of my videos? Rolling Dubs, have you watched any of my videos? Do you know among the inventory of 15,000 videos what I've got? Hello? Hello? I'm talking to you, dude. You have any idea? Hello? Would you like me to jog your brain for you a little bit? Let me show you something. Okay? Hey folks, know what's on my channel. So you don't get, all right. Yeah, but that's wuss. Yes, I recently changed my name. From what to what? I mean, why do that anyway? Why can't you just be honest and say who you really are? You were Sean Grogan. Okay. Sean, have you seen my NFL draft videos? Dude, all right? I am very proud of my work. Okay? Very proud. I don't have this stuff for nothing. Don't be racist. All right. Take a look at this. Bing. Ta-da! Anthony Barr gets Subway sandwich in his likeness for NFL draft. Who is that? Where is that? Ha ha ha. Okay. All right. See? What year was that? That was 5 years ago. Let's see. Where else? Here's another one. Ta-da-ta-da. Bingo! Look at that goofy ass face. Anthony Barr highlights 2014 Minnesota Vikings linebacker football NFL draft. Oh, I had so much fun. Oh my God. Yeah. No, but Anthony Barr can rush the passer. Okay. So again, when you said Anthony Barr, I'm like, Saxville, I'll take it. That's a guy who really can play a great tweener role. You said you wanted the Raiders to get him. He's like, to me, Anthony Barr is very much like Khalil Mack. Okay, that's how I think of Anthony Barr. That's how I think of Anthony Barr. Vikings would never. Well, you mentioned them though. I mean, here's the thing. Anybody going to be had for a price, right? one thing that was fun. Those videos that I showed you with Anthony Barr. Um, what happened was that Barr. I have Teddy Bridgewater here too, by the way. Okay. In fact, you know what I was thinking about today is let me show you something. Teddy Bridgewater came out same year as Blake Bortles. Okay, so yeah, Blake Bortles. Remember that guy? Um, and I remember that. I remember Blake Bortles getting drafted really high. Everybody talking to Blake, and there was Teddy over there with one reporter, and I'm thinking I can go over there. And I eventually did take a look. I got front row seat. This is my front row seat for Teddy. Okay, there it is. Teddy Bridgewater highlights Zenny 62. All right, and I got the first question out to ask him. Okay, so in fact, I forgot what I asked him. I think I asked him how you're feeling. Hold on a second. Let me go back here. Uh, and then let me do this. There, yeah.
Next week when you're the first or the 32nd or what have you, thinking now that you were the last guy in the first round, do you still have that mindset?
I still have it. I know that tonight happened, but tomorrow I have to be right in that facility up in Minnesota, and come Monday I have to strap my cleats on and get to work. So whether I was the first pick or the last pick, I still had that smile on my face because this is a once in a lifetime experience. And my family and I, we told each other that we're going to enjoy this experience and we're going to make the most of it.
Did you enjoy it?
Excuse me.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yes, it was tonight in the green room. It was pretty nerve wracking because I had a feeling that I was going to Minnesota based off the pre-draft experiences, but I didn't know when. I thought it was going to be at 8, but after he traded the pick or they drafted Anthony Barr, it was like, whoa, what's going to happen? But this entire process has been great. Being around a group of guys that are in this draft class, there are some great guys on the field, but even better guys off the field.
So when did Rick tell you he was going to take you?
He never told me when he would take me, but I told him when I was up in Minnesota that I wanted to be a Viking, and I wanted to be a Viking bad because it would be like quarterback heaven when you come to an offense with a great offensive line, great running back, great group of wide receivers, great guys at the tight end position. It's like, hey, now you have a bunch of weapons that help you out also.
You thought so? What are your impressions about North Turner and the system and maybe the vibe you might have with him as a coordinator?
For one, Coach Norv and we've established a relationship prior to Pro Day. He's a great guy. He's coached some great guys under his belt, and I feel that he's going to do great things with not only myself but this entire organization. And we were able to just establish that relationship, the system that he's running. I feel that I can walk right into right in. I can walk in right away and just begin to play and prosper in that system. I was able to get a brief understanding of the concepts that they're going to be running, and I have a somewhat understanding of it.
Are they similar to what you did in Louisville?
It's some of the same concepts, it's just worded different.
What was it like back there for you, Teddy? As the picks are going by, what's going through your mind as it's happening?
I'm just back there remaining humble, patient.
Well, you get it, the idea, folks. But that was Teddy Bridgewater. What happened was that Teddy was about to slip into the second round. This was 2014, same year Anthony Barr came out. And the Vikings quite literally made a trade and they went back into the first round to grab him. And I think about how Blake Bortles was valued by Mike Mayock over this guy, and how Mike Mayock made this big deal about Teddy Bridgewater's pro day, which I thought was good, but Mike spun it as if to say it was like the most horrible, terrible pro day I've ever seen and all that, okay? If you pay attention to the draft, you remember a different Mike Mayock. And that's why Mike's doing a good job, okay? But there's some comments he made about players and some ways he treated players as they're being drafted that were really kind of rank. He didn't need to do. And it just so happens that he saved his worst comments more often than not for black quarterbacks. This guy, all right? This guy being one of them, okay? All right? And I remind the people of that. Like Brian Baldinger last year was saying, "Oh, Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater." He said that, and he and I got into this celebrated by me because I took our Twitter feud and I made a story out of it that wound up on Google News on a video. And then about, I think it was last week, I said, "So, Brian Baldinger, man. So how do you like Teddy Bridgewater now? Got anything good to say about him?" "I don't recall saying anything bad about Teddy Bridgewater." "Well, how about this?" Silence. Okay? I mean, you know, there was no reason to do that. Well, didn't Teddy have his draft day without wearing gloves? No, he actually wore gloves. Uh, he got dinged for that. He took them off. I think someone said take them off, but he got dinged for wearing gloves for part of his pro day. But the whole point is that I saw his pro day. He did a good job. He hit about 70% of his passes. Okay, so which is about average for a pro day. Actually, a little bit above average because there are some guys like Drew Lock with Denver that didn't do that well at all, and yet I like in fairness to Drew, I like Drew personally. This is not anything. I'm not saying anything for any personal reason, but look, I thought Drew Lock's pro day was substandard, but comparing Drew Lock's pro day, I say that because a number of people say, "Oh, he had a great pro day," and I'm saying, "Are you just saying that?" Because there's a lot of this that goes on. They'll just say something to market a player, right? And it makes you wonder if somebody's being paid under the table to pump a certain player. I mean, my sense is that there's a lot of that goes on. I can't prove it except by circumstance, but it wouldn't surprise me if one day someone came up and admitted, "Yeah, we get paid to talk about one other player more than somebody else." Sad. So, it's very sad. Uh, didn't mean to go on about him, but hey. So I've got a lot of players on here. I remember I've got Blake Bortles, Marquise Lee. I've got Matt Stafford. Um, whew. I've got Kyler Murray from this year. I've got Josh Jacobs, which you should, if you're a Raider fan, you should know about my videos with Josh, because I told him the Raiders going to draft him before the Raiders drafted him, and I said he was going to be the heir apparent to Marshawn Lynch, straight out. Okay. Yes, I'm patting myself on the back. Josh, so you saw that? Yeah, I love that, man. Boy, I love that one. I have I have a lot of NFL draft videos. I've got RG3. I've got Andrew Luck. Several times. I have an interview with RG3's dad. With his dad, okay? I've got speaking of Josh Jacobs, do you think he would be cool for Raider Nation to give him a nickname? No. No. He's Josh. Ozen says RG3 is bust. I hope not. RG3 is a smart aleck. He's got that thing about him. He has this. Robert Griffin III has a mischievous intellect. Okay. He's always the guy that looks at you like, I know something you don't. And he's funny that way. He's very much a smart aleck that way in a good way. Okay. Geno Smith is a guy who I like Geno personally a lot, but I think that for some particular reason he gets himself into some sometimes some ridiculous personal situations. I'm not sure where that comes from. But I believe it's wanting to be valued or demanding to be valued without, um, how do you say it? Without the necessary exemplary humility. Okay, it's like, hey, I'm better than you. Treat me like this, and everybody's like, heck with you. All right, and look, Gino doesn't mean to be that way. It's just that with some people, not me, he comes off that way. And I say that because his agents treated him like crap when he fired him. He had a right to fire his agents. He was falling in the draft. He didn't want to. His agents were giving him bad advice. So he fired him. But these guys acting like, hey, you're black. You can't tell us what to do. Seriously, all right? Okay? If I were Geno Smith, and I told him this, I told him what was going on. I said, if I were Geno, I would have called a press conference at the draft and told everybody why I threw my put my agents and said, hey, you know what? You're done. Here's what happened. You know why? Because they're going behind his back, seeding information about him to reporters. Okay? That's some bad stuff, man. That's some bad stuff. It's like the whole bong hit thing with Laramie Tunsil. I firmly believe that Laramie pissed off someone because I asked him after it happened. I said, dude, who is handling your Instagram account? Oh, man. I said, oh, man. What? Okay? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Oh, man is right. Has anyone seen my interview with Laramie Tunsil? When it comes out after we're sitting there in the interview room in Chicago. This is all Zenny 62 right here, folks. You've come to the right place. If you didn't know, you're here before. And and I'm sitting there waiting, and Gary Tuckman from CNN was sitting behind me right over there. He would love to come to the draft. I didn't see him the last draft. But anyway, all of a sudden, Ian Rappaport comes on. And someone put a video of Laramie Tunsil smoking a bong on the internet. Oh my God. We were just sitting there like, what? What? Oh my God. Oh, I still can't believe that happened to that poor fella. And there was some guy there because he was Ole Miss, okay? There was some guy in the audience, and this is on my video channel. Some reporter asked him something about taking money from Hugh Freeze. He basically admitted that he did. And that's why, seeing him go through that, to me, was one major reason why college athletes should get paid. So you don't have some, third-rate so-called journalist, being a smart aleck and aiming questions at you just because that person thinks they can embarrass you. Because that's what that's all about. And that sucked. All right? People who do that are, to me, the worst kind of evil. Okay? Here's this young man, just because he's like, 6'6", 300 pounds, doesn't mean that he's, 50 years old. He's 20. He's a kid. Treat him like that? Laramie was ready to throw down on that poor fella. That guy, and it's good he didn't do it because, we would have read about Tunsil headed to jail. Okay? That's a lot of person to stop. All right? Rob Ivan says, paying college athletes is fair and transparent. Yeah. Yeah. Do I think the XFL is going to succeed this time around? I haven't looked at the business model enough to give you a yay or an A. So I'm not going to talk out of my rear at that one, okay? I need to take a look at how they're running the teams this time around. Does each team get a chunk of money? Do they have some sort of quid pro quo where if the ratings don't reach a certain level, they're out? How are they designing it this time around? I haven't looked at that at all. I haven't had time. I need to take the time, and then I can give you a good answer. Because if I determine they can't, I would then be able to tell you exactly what the problem is. Just like with the Raiders Stadium situation, I can give you a definitive comment about it because I know about that. Plus, that's my area of study anyway. So it's like drinking water. Lone Dove says, I love the kickoff in the XFL. Yeah, me too. Joseph says their draft seems interesting. The drafting by position. John Cost says, okay, fair enough. I mean, I promise you, I will get you an answer. I promise you. I promise you. Trying to think who else. I should make a list of all the people I've interviewed. I interviewed Darren McFadden when he came to the Raiders. I have an interview from 2008 with Mike Mayako. And by the way, those of you who are on here, I really encourage you to read. I beg of you. I'm more than encouraged. I'm begging you. Please, baby, please, I want you to read this excellent, excellent, excellent piece of work by Zenny62 Media blogger, longtime blogger with me, who lives in the UK. We haven't even met in person. David Squires. David is an Atlanta Falcons fan in London. That's right. And he has written this piece. I really, really, really want you to read this one, okay? Our college offense is more creative than their NFL counterparts. All you got to do is go to oaklandnewsnow.com right here, okay? And click on it like this, all right? Heck, I might even just give you the link right now. And scroll down, and there's like some Mike Leach, okay? And this is the work of by David Squires, okay? September 30th. And there's a lot here. Talks about the air raid, the origins, shallow cross, the air raids and attitude, everything. Okay. And all you got to do, I'm going to give you the link right now. Okay, there. Boom. And I'm going to go right down here, back to where we were here. Boom. And you know what? I'm going to give you the link right now. I'm going to post the link where you can grab it for yourself. Little arrow like that. Put that there. And voila! Voila! There it is. There it is. Right here. See that? Right there, okay? That's the link. All right? Hey, Muhammad, how you doing? Muhammad says, oh, definitely a lot of different schemes in the NFL. Yeah. I interviewed... I miss Mariota and Winston because neither one of them came to the draft. That was sad. Who else have I got? Let's see here. Zenny62, 2013 NFL draft. I just want to see what I find. I mean, I've interviewed so many players I need a count. Oh, here's a good list. All right, look at this. There's D. Milner. Remember him, right? All right. That's Lane Johnson. Remember him? You know who that is. It's EJ. EJ Manuel. And I also interviewed Joe Namath the Phil Simms on the red carpet. That's your Phil's being a bit of a you-know-what to me. There's Teddy. That's 2014, of course. Deion Jordan. Great defensive end. There's Deion. I interviewed him twice. Okay. And Amari Cooper, Oakland Raiders, NFL draft first round pick. Woohoo! Okay. But he did not show up. But he did not show up there. Okay. He was not there. All right. Then Geno Smith. There's Geno. Paul Salada's Mr. Irrelevant. I was interviewing people at the Radio City Music Hall. Bjorn Werner. There's my friend Bill Chackus. I haven't met Trent Dilfer, no. There's Mark Sanchez, my interview with him, okay. Andrew Sabatos is a fan I interviewed. There's EJ Manuel. That's classic now these out of the league. You realize that, don't you? Luke Jokel. Ooh, tackle. Marquise Lee, okay. Kenny Vaccaro, Saints. My friend AP Statham. Good night, Joseph. Marquise, there's Anthony Barr. There's Luke again. There's Taylor Lewan. Tavon Austin. Kenny again. Blake Bortles. See, all right. Commissioner Goodell. Remember Michael Sam was asking why Michael Sam wasn't invited to the draft? All right. So I got, that's just 2013. That's just part of what I've got, folks. From 2013 alone. All right. So, yeah. My friend Andrew Perloff. It's Brandon Cooks. Blaine Gabbert. I got a lot of people. Whew. I sound like a cheap salesman. I got a lot of people. I got a lot of people. Oh my gosh. As you can tell, I do enjoy what I'm doing. Yes, I do. Hey, wait a second. There's this. Okay. And there's, where am I here? So at any rate, yeah. So I've been out here 66 minutes. That's an hour. Good night, Joseph. I'll see you. And I am, folks, going to follow his lead and head out. I'm exhausted. Okay. So anybody else have another question? Because it's that question that kept me going just for a little bit. This has been good. Good. No other questions? It is, oh, it's almost 2 a.m. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm right. Good night. Good night. Good night, all. Good night. And thanks, Roland Dubs. Or Sean, or, yeah. Good night, all. All. Got it. I wonder if I should pick my top 10 all Zinni 62 NFL draft. Not unless I know them all. That's good. That's good. That's good. Lots of thinking to do. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you.